insert the yoke into the base stem and remove the feeder head mounting rod. To do this, you'll loosen the set screw on one set collar and remove the rod. The feeder head onto the yoke assembly. To do this, you will balance the feeder head on the yoke ears on this set collar located right here. There's one on either side. The next thing you'll do is take the feeder head mounting rod and insert it through the yoke and then through the feeder head. Then reinstall the set collar removed in the previous step. The next operation is to remove the rear stock guide mounting screws from their mounting blocks and install the rear stock guides. The next operation is to install the front register guide by slipping it over the Allen bolts located in the stock riser assembly. The next operation is to install the operator side cover. The toggle switch must be moved to the center position in order for this to be achieved, and then turned into the off position once you get it into the mounting hole. Install the 4 mounting screws. Half-inch set collar, and the stock riser adjust handle. The next operation is to install the non-operator side cover. To install the rear cover, first, remove the lower 4 screws on the plexiglass door assembly using a 9/64 Allen wrench provided. Then remove the mounting screws located in the rear cover. And install into the rear bar. the plexiglass door assembly using the 4 screws removed in the previous step. The power cord strain relief. First, remove the 1032 nut located on the 1032 by 3/4 screw on the power cord. Install the screw through the hole in the base cover, and then reinstall the 1032 nut on the bottom side of the base cover. The first process in the setup for number 10 envelopes is to ensure that the caliper setting is correct. A minimum of 1/8 of an inch gap to a maximum of a 1/4 inch gap between the end of the caliper assembly and the upper feed belt. To the number 10 setting. Now these settings are general settings due to the variations in envelope size from box to box. So keep that in mind when you set it up. The next operation is to adjust the rear upper stock guides to the number 10 position. And lock in the thumb screws. The next operation is to move the stock riser roller assembly all the way to the forward position and lock the thumb screws on the inside of the side plates. Next, you will load your product into the register guides. Loosen the thumb screws on the inside of the side plates and move the stock riser roller assembly back until the location assembly touches the back of the envelopes. Next, you will jog the feeder on and off to pull product into the O-ring assembly. Now the stock riser roller assembly can be fine-tuned to the correct angle. Leave a slight air gap in between the product and the location tang due to variations in length of product. Next, the machine can be loaded. The next operation is to move the front register guides to the edge of the envelopes again leaving a slight air gap for variation in product. Now the product can be advanced by jogging the on and off switch. Occasionally on your first setup, your first product will come in contact with your micro switch and cause your machine to shut down. So pressure on the end of your envelopes will keep that from happening. Hold down tension assembly is extremely important to keep your envelopes in a proper stack. Not enough pressure will allow envelopes to build up in this area, and too much pressure will leave track marks from the wheels on your envelopes. So it is very important to have enough pressure but not too much pressure to keep your envelopes driving in this area. Now that the proper stream has been achieved, you are now ready to adjust the settings on your Riso machine. We will place the magnet over the product sensor and then install the envelope feeder. Next, you will lock in your locking casters. And then manually move the product tray to the proper position. It's not turned on. Now manually move the product tray into the proper position. Next, you will need to adjust the angle of the feeder to match the angle of the product tray. This can be achieved by the adjustment jack located underneath your unit, the locking screw, which may or may not be visible on video, needs to be loosened before making an adjustment. Close, lower the feed tray, and then raise the feed tray back to the proper position. This may need to be done numerous times or several times in order to achieve the proper position. Once proper Leveling has been achieved. You are now ready to print envelopes.